to like choke you out in front of us. Did you do that?
I can't, man. Just stop. Get those barbs out.
I'd like to call the February 2025 meeting to order. I will, opening statement is as presented. Can we please stand for the pledge? Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mr. Amsler is absent. Mr. Daffler?
Here.
Mrs. Getter?
Here.
Mr. Mallory?
Here.
Mrs. Neese?
Here.
Dr. Blessing?
Present.
Mrs. Hillard, present. Mr. Homan?
Here.
And our student reps, Mr. Prince?
Here.
Stalker? Here. Ms. Odegaard?
Here.
And I can't see your last one, and they're not on my page.
McGowan.
Here we go.
Right. Do I have a motion to approve opening items C through H?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call. Oh, well, oh yeah. Okay, start with first one's adoption of the agenda. It's business as usual, waiving of the reading of the minutes of regular board meeting, January 16th, 2 work sessions, one February 6th and 12th. Approval of a regular board meeting. F, you got any comments for us on F?
So my financial report is in your packets as presented. I'll just do a real quick recap for the general public purpose. Basically, our expenditures are in excess of the revenue by $2.7 million for this month of January. The district general fund is about $4.3 million less than the initial balance, but February will bring county money and tax advances in, so that's going to catch up a little bit. The rolling plan that's in your packet as well kind of shows you where we've received the funds at, where things were changed a little bit. We received tax advances, we received the casino payout for the month of January also. Everything else seems to be in line, and we're just going to keep working towards beating that deficit for the year. Are there any questions in regards to your packets?
Next, we got the recognition of student and staff. Mr. Amsler typically reads this, but I will read. The student of the month
You want to have Hunter come up?
is Mr. Hunter Pennington up here. Here.
Go ahead,
Miamisburg School January District Student of the Month is Medler View School Student Hunter Pennington. Hunter was nominated by his teacher, Courtney Christie. She said, over the past several weeks, Hunter has consistently demonstrated qualities that embody the values of our school: dedication, respect, leadership, and commitment to personal and academic growth. From the first day of school, Hunter has stood out not only as academic achievement, but also for his character. He approaches each task, whether it's a class project, a group discussion, or even a simple homework assignment, with a level of enthusiasm and focus that sets a high standard for others. His work is always thoughtful, thorough, and often exceeds expectations. Hunter's respectful nature extends beyond the classroom. He is a positive influence on our school community and is always willing to lend a hand. Hunter approaches everything with a sense of responsibility and a generous heart. His dedication to excellence, his leadership, and his kindness make him an exemplary member of school community, and I have no doubt that he will continue to inspire others in the months and years to come. Congratulations, Hunter.
Hunter, on behalf of the Board of Education and the Miamisburg Schools, we have a medallion that says Student of the Month. That's for you. And then we have a t-shirt. And did you get a really cool silver dollar? Yeah, from Mr. Myers? All right. Do you like coins? Do you have a collection or anything? Or maybe you'll start a collection? So, Hunter, who did you bring with you tonight?
Mom, Dad, and my little brother, Kayla.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing. Yeah, thank you. See, funny. And Mrs. Rupert's here as well, right? Yeah, so we appreciate you all being here tonight and all of your hard work at school. Can I shake your hand? My hand's probably wrong. Do you want to shake everybody else's hand and then we'll get a picture? How's that sound? Okay, you need to hold your medallion. You go around and shake everyone's hand. They want to congratulate on your hard work. Okay? You can just go around the table if you want to. Mr. Homan will get a picture and we'll bring. You want to get a picture with your brother? Okay. You're hungry? But we'll hurry. We'll hurry. If I had a snack, I'd help you out, right? Yeah, if you had a snack. What about dinner? Not yet? We're going there. Oh, where are you going? Good job. CJ's. Are you going to get a Pizookie? Okay. So we want to take a picture. You want to come over? Let's go over by the Viking. Come on, guys. Let's go over by the Viking.
All right, next we have a recognition for Miss Ann Neese as a recipient of the Ohio School Board Association Training Award, Star Service Training, Aptitude, and Recognition for Ann. Congratulations, Ann.
The Ohio School Board will be recognizing Ann in a couple weeks at the spring conference. So we'll be sure to have a picture we'll be able to put on the website and recognize Ann for her hard work. Just a little bit more about the OSBA, which is the Ohio School Boards Association, recognizes school board members in 4 categories based on service, training, aptitude, and recognition. And Mrs. Neese is being awarded the Training Award for all of the professional development events and activities delivered by OSBA and other groups and association. The Training Award requires 200 points earned over a 3-year period. The award does not require an application, but they're notified that they've earned their points because this is a prestigious honor. We have 3,400 board members in the state of Ohio, and only 41 board members will be receiving this award this year. So that's pretty amazing, Ann. So thank you very much.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.
Next, we have a STEAM Lab video that was recognized at the Business Advisory Council meeting last night that we would like to show everybody.
Yes, we were in attendance. Ann and Nyla, myself, Stacy, and Bob Neubauer were with all of the Montgomery County school districts as well as Warren County and lots of business partners within Montgomery County. And we have a Business Advisory Council statement of work, and we have like a strategic plan, and so all of the areas that we try to engage students, engage businesses, parents, and so they featured us on a really cool video that we're going to let everyone watch right now. So it's about 5 or 6 minutes. So.
About 4 years ago, I decided to make the leap and come serve as the principal of Kinder Elementary. One of the things I wanted to do was change the way we had done technology classes here in Miamisburg. I asked Miss Lay to meet with me. We started the conversation saying, well, what are we doing here? What are we trying to accomplish? We had a traditional computer lab. But when kids are one-to-one technology, it seemed like it was a redundant class. So we started talking about what if. We started looking at ways that we could reimagine that technology special and do something bigger and better to meet kids' needs. And the idea for the STEAM class special was born. And Miss Lay took it over and has run with it and found grants and worked with the ESC and worked with the STEM school and written curriculum, and it's just been fantastic to watch it grow.
We just decided one day that we were gonna have the kids bring their Chromebooks, we're gonna take the computers out of the lab, and we were gonna start working on student-led collaborative projects. So our goals for students when you come into the STEAM lab is to have a student-centered experience and to be able to create an environment where they're really driving the learning and I'm just sort of giving the outline of that instruction. I really want to see them working as a team and building that teamwork.
I like how when you do stuff, you can have like freedom on like how you do it. You can have your own creativity and like how you make it turn out. It doesn't have to look like everybody else's in the class. The STEAM lab helps me to communicate better with my teammates and like helps me like slow down and listen to other people's ideas.
Well, this year actually we were working on an impossible cube with Kiva planks, and I couldn't have done that without my team. We tried making an impossible cube with them, but like not like a cube that you would think, like an actual 3D cube, but like building like upwards, side to side. My favorite part of STEAM Lab is probably the Legos, because you gotta make like foosball tables we were doing today and like other cool stuff. We got to build the highest tower my team won, and it was with 100 Legos. My favorite part about STEAM Lab is when we play games on the computer. There's one where you have to learn how to be kind, how to like keep your privacy on the internet, and it's really fun. Working in STEAM as a team, it helps me be more patient.
Some of the experiences that we have are computer science. We're working with code.org right now.
You're learning about technology, like how to code. Coding is like you're making a program or something to move, to like come to life, like a video game. They all have to have codes. Coding is just something that I've really enjoyed in STEAM Lab, and I would like to maybe do as a career in the future.
They work on building things, and it's not necessarily about the structure or how high you build it. It's more about how do we collaborate, how do we critically think, how do we make those mistakes if the tower falls, and how do we pick it back up and do it again.
A lot of our kids, I don't think that they think about those things like the problem-solving process and breaking it down step by step in a more fun aspect, I think helps them. And I've started to see that transfer into just the math and social studies classroom with me. And I always share stories with them, like when I grew up, it was there's one way to solve a problem, and even if you came to an answer, a different way, it's only one way. And so now I really push that. There's more than one way to get to an answer, and I think that their experiences in our STEAM labs have really pushed that and encouraged that even further.
So we started with our little idea here at Kinder, and then that same year, another principal said he'd like to take the plunge as well. And then by the next year, all the technology specials had transformed into STEM specials. But it started as an idea, and now it's in all 7 elementary schools, K through 5.
We're getting them ready for everyday life by having them do the jobs that they do in our classroom and working together, because no matter what they want to do in life, they will have to work on a team. They're going to have to be able to get along with and collaborate with people that they don't necessarily connect with all the time.
So there's one main job, and it is the project manager that makes sure everything is going according to plan.
Your other job is just work to the best of your ability, and at the end of the week you get paid. And once you get the money, you can spend on like these prizes. We get paid for like good behavior and sportsmanship.
Today we were playing with robots and how you can make the robots move. That was really fun.
And one thing that's challenging is like when I do projects and stuff, I usually work alone. Like I don't usually like working with people. In there, it helps me learn to work together with people better.
The STEAM Lab is a huge priority for us to keep and grow because we know that kids are lacking some of those skills that, frankly, employers really want to see these days. Creative problem solving, working together. So not only do we get to hit some of those academic needs with students, as well as just give them an experience. And to have a place that is dedicated to creative problem solving is really truly starting to reimagine what education could be.
The STEAM labs are very important to your elementary programs. I feel like I can see a difference in the critical thinking of our kids, and we're constantly reimagining what this program is going to look like, and we're evolving as the technology evolves, and it can't start in high school. It has to start at our littlest age because that's when it makes the most impact. And for me, every single day, I feel like I walk into this room and I'm just creating these tiny little humans to be great adults for our Miamisburg community.
That was awesome. Very nice. Next, we're going to move on to the recognition of a retiree. That's Marcia Miller.
Marcia, you want to come up?
Resolution of appreciation. Whereas Marcia Miller has rendered 30 years service to Miamisburg City School, and whereas Marcia Miller's performance, conduct, and sincerity in carrying out her duty has exemplified the highest level of achievement, and whereas Marcia Miller has distinguished herself as a food service employee, summer transportation administrative assistant, transportation driver, transportation on board inspector in the Miamisburg City School District. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Miamisburg City School Board of Education pass a resolution as a token of its appreciation for her outstanding conduct, that such resolution become part of the permanent minutes of said Board of Education meeting February 20, 2025. Congratulations.
Anything you'd like to share with the group, some wisdom?
No. No, there's too much.
You write a book, right?
Yes, I should.
Yeah. Well, here is your resolution of appreciation.
Thank
And
you.
here's your bell, so if you want to go ahead and ring it tonight or every day that you have left, or just a reminder to all the working friends, right?
First day, I'm going to be ringing this bell.
Excellent. Mr. Homan, you want to take a picture?
I do, but I just want to say
Yes,
just a couple
please.
words about Marcia. Marcia's been such a valuable member of our transportation department, and I think Marcia and I, we were talking about this the other day, I think we almost started about the same year when I started at Bauer teaching, and I think you had just gotten a contract out there. And you've been such a vital role to our transportation department and such a good role model. And she's our onboard instructor. She trains all of our new bus drivers that come in, and she is so patient and willing to think outside the box. And I just want to thank you very much for everything you've done. We're going to miss you. But don't worry, I've already talked to her. She's going to come back and sub for us. So
We'll give you 60 days off, but day 61, right, Letitia? She's going back. Well, you want to come over here? We'll get and here, why don't I let you shake everyone's hands? And then we'll get some photo ops. We'll get your family over here and we'll do some pictures. How's that sound? With Marcia. So as our retiree, and then we'll all come in and join you. How's that sound? Good. And then everyone join us. And you want Stacy to get a picture with your phone too?
Sure.
Your phone there too. and stand. Well, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you so much for all your service.
Thank you.
And work on that book for us because. I'm trying to get that. I wasn't gonna-
It's a loud
It is a loud one. Wake you up.
So, March 1st, I'm gonna be at home ringing this bell.
In case you want to quiet that bell down a little bit, okay? There's the bell.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Rattler?
Yes.
Mrs. Getter?
Yes.
Mr. Mallory?
Yes.
And Mrs. Weeks?
Next, we're going to move on to public comments. We have one green sheet. Each person who wishes to address the board shall complete this form prior to the beginning of the meeting. Commenters will give his or her name and address. Each person is allotted 3 minutes to speak until the total time of 30 minutes is used. We will give a 30-second warning so speakers know when their time, 3 minutes is up. Shelby Nunnery is the green sheet.
Good evening. My name is Shelby Nunnery, and I live on Decker Court in Miamisburg. Tonight, I want to recognize Dr. Blessing. I'm super sad that she's leaving, so I don't get to come to the board meetings as often as I like to. So in case I don't see you again at a meeting, I wanted to take this moment to say thank you for everything that you've done. I'm a parent of Miamisburg students and an educator in a different district. I appreciate all of the work that you have done for our district. Your leadership has made a lasting impact on Miamisburg schools. You have expanded opportunities for students, securing funding for full-day preschool and kindergarten. You have brought career and STEM programs into our schools. We saw a great video, I love that video, that was such a great video, about the STEAM at Kinder, and we appreciate you helping that make that happen. She has strengthened student voices, ensuring they have a place at the table. I know my kids like those surveys to get input. I have a very opinionated 11-year-old, so he really likes when he gets those surveys. And I think that shows that you care about what the parents and students and the teachers have to say, and that is amazing. You have prioritized staff appreciation, community engagement, and student success. Your dedication to this district has been unwavering, and it shows in the progress we have made. What stands out most is your ability to lead with both vision and heart. You are present in our schools. You know our students by name. You make an effort to connect with them in meaningful ways. Whether you are handing out Making a Difference awards to staff members, celebrating our workforce development programs, or simply reading to a classroom, your passions and dedications have left a mark on this district. While we are sad to see you go, we are grateful for the impact you've made. Miamisburg is better because of your leadership, and I want to thank you for your service, your commitment, and the legacy you leave behind. Dr. Blessing, I wish you all the best in your next chapter. Thank you.
Alrighty, next we will move on to the agenda item number 4, adoption and revision of the board policy. It is recommended that the Board of Education present the second reading of the board policy. During the February 6, 2025 board work session, the proposed Neola policies were discussed, in particular the staff security policy, 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, and non-discrimination wordings were discussed. The second reading attached contains the proposed changes, which includes making the staff security policy referenced a second separate vote. B, approval of the adoption and resolution. It is recommended that the Board of Education approve adoption resolution as presented. Resolved that the bylaws and policies published on the district website and codified in the comprehensive documents entitled Bylaws and Policies of the Miamisburg City School District Board of Education are hereby adopted, and that all bylaws and policies heretofore adopted by the Miamisburg City School District Board of Education are hereby rescinded. Further be it resolved that In the event any policy, part of a policy or section of the bylaws is judged to be inconsistent with law, inoperative by a court of competent jurisdictions, or invalidated by a policy or contract duly adopted by this board, the remaining bylaws, policies, and parts of policy shall remain in full effect, and the Neola policy will be effective and will be replacing the current OSBA policy on March 12th, 2025. Take notice that the foregoing resolution was adopted by the Miamisburg City School District Board of Education at the public meeting held at Miamisburg, Ohio on February 20th, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion that we approve the new policies based on the Neola policies.
I second it.
Roll call?
Mrs. Getter? Yes. Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Mr. Dappler?
Yes. Item C, approval of safety policy. It is recommended by the Board of Education to vote separately to include staff security policy numbered 1,000, 3,000, 4,000, and the Neola policy as attached. It is recommended that the board vote separately. This is to keep it in the policy.
So on the policies that we just approved, these were not included in that book.
So this is to keep it in as the policy.
Right, so if you want these three policies to be included in what we just approved, then you would vote yes. If you do not want those included in the policies, then you would vote no.
Do I have a motion?
I have a question. I have a question. So, is there any way that we can amend that security policy here, or do we have to wait and do that at a later time? Can we include it and amend it here, or do we have to, Corey, do you know?
What do you not?
What do you mean?
Well, what are you talking about for amended?
I wanted to add, there's a section there that says, and I don't have it right in front of me, I read it this afternoon, but thought it would be on here. There's a section that says, as approved by the superintendent, I wanted to, oh yes, bring it up there. Can you make it bigger? Try. Okay.
Up or down?
They're all the same.
It's all the same, okay.
I'm gonna move over now.
Whoops.
I can't, it's too far.
Okay, where it says may authorize the superintendent to reimburse reasonable cost, could we add, with the approval of the board or something like that? Because obviously, and I don't think my microphone works, obviously,
Thank you, Jason. Obviously, if we have an emergency, we definitely want, we want this to be taken care of right away. And the policy states that the superintendent will work with law enforcement agencies, and that would happen immediately, and then the board would be notified. But as far as hiring private security, could we put something in there to include to let the board could be included? I don't know how exactly we can put that in there. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, what I would recommend that if we still want to tweak it, yeah, I would go ahead and table it. And because really what we should do then, if we want to go ahead and make the change here, is that we would have to do another reading of it, and then that, yeah, and then that would provide people to provide input to look at a draft. You might be like,
okay, so could we vote to include it and then choose that maybe at the March meeting we could tweak it and then vote on it again? We've already included it, we know we want it to be in there, but we want to just change a little bit of the wording. Could we do that?
what? Go ahead,
are we
Katrina.
allowed to do that?
So we've already done a first reading of this, because the last discussion, so now that you want to change it again, what we'll have to do is table it, do another first reading of what you amend, and then vote on it the next time. Can we do that?
Yeah, and that would actually give time if everyone has an opportunity to look at it and if they want to massage and do something differently or not, then that gives us some time to look at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I have no problem with keeping it, I just want to add to include, something in there to include the board. That's all.
And I think, we passed the major bulk of the policies, and I don't see why this can't wait another month if we need to tweak it.
So do we have to have a motion to table it?
So,
Do I have a motion to table, approval of safety policy?
So moved.
I second it.
Mr. Mallory,
Are we discussing this now or voting?
you're just gonna vote to table
To
it and
table
to
it.
not.
No.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Mr. Ambler's not here. Mr. Dackler?
Yes.
Mrs. Getter?
Yes.
All right, this is a 3-0. Move on.
We'll work on incorporating that language and then have people an opportunity to review it before first reading them.
Next, we move on to consent agenda items. Do I have a motion to approve items A through H?
I move to approve items A through H.
I second that.
We'll start from the top. A, approval overnight extended stay, that's kind of business as usual stuff there. A and B. C, approval of class of early graduation 2025. Again, business as usual, appointment of board designee and attend public training. I think this is an every year thing. Approval of memorandum with Grand Canyon. Anybody want to speak to that?
It's just a memorandum of understanding because we have a student nurse who's going to be working with one of our nurses, doing her internship. I forget what they call it in nursing, but she's getting her school
Preceptorship.
nursing, she's getting her school nursing license, so she's going to be working with our nurses.
It's the same process we use for student teachers. You have to have an MOU with the university.
Okay. Then MOU with Miami Valley CTC.
We have two on the
Yeah.
agenda for this evening. One is the adult ed program. I don't know if you want to pull that MOU up. They're going to be using our facilities at the Miamisburg Middle School for an evening adult ed program. And then the other one is for the satellite program at the middle school. We're just expanding another course that our middle school students can take and partner with the MVCTC. They provide the teacher, and again, that helps with us in terms of finances, but also the expertise and training that the Miami Valley CTC prepares their teachers. And they also, those dollars also provide supplies and equipment, so it's a great partnership. Stacy has been working on that as well. So we have satellite teachers not only at the middle school, but also at the high school. So, the CTC has always been willing to expand and listen to our ideas and thoughts, and so it's been a great partnership, and we appreciate that as well. So.
Alrighty, H is the authorization of the Ohio High School School Athletic Association membership. I present the resolution as presented there. This is typical every year stuff. Does anybody have any questions?
Gotta be a member to be in the club, so if we want our sports to be there, then we need to approve it, so.
Yeah. Roll call.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Mr. Dackler?
Yes.
Mrs. Getter? Yes. And Mr. Mallory?
Yes.
All right, on to human resource items. Do I have a motion to approve items
basically approve personnel reports, certificated, classified, supplemental, and stipends.
I second it.
Roll call?
Mr. Dappler?
Yes.
Mrs. Getter? Yes. Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Item 7, agreements and contracts. Do I have a motion to approve items A through B?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we will start with item A, approval of agreement with Warren County Educational Services.
It's just a student for services.
Student that needs extra services that we can't provide.
Correct.
Item B would be with College Credit Plus with Sinclair, typical.
Yes, just our annual contract for our students to be able to capture those college credits at a very reasonable price for our families. So exciting partnership as well. Yes. Free, isn't it?
Free. Free is the best.
Affordable, free. I think they're responsible for books, right? Yes.
No, we do books.
Oh, books as well?
Yes.
Excellent.
They just gotta pass the class, right?
And parking tickets.
Yes.
Roll call.
That's it.
Mr. Dappler?
Yes.
Mrs. Getter? Yes. Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
All right, on to the financial agenda. Do I have a motion to approve financial items A through B?
I move to approve financial items A through B.
Second.
Mr. Trina?
A through B.
All right, item A is the authorization for amendment to the appropriations and certificate of estimated resources. This is a monthly procedural item. And then item B is the then and now approval of an invoice for the use machine. So that invoice is just over the boundaries that require me to bring to the board for approval for payment.
Roll call?
Mrs. Getter? Yes. Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
And Mrs. Dappler?
Yes.
Third apple.
Yeah, I did.
I'm trying to beat you.
Next, we have the acceptance of donations. Do I have a motion to approve the donations?
So moved.
Go ahead.
Mama Mowry
Okay.
move?
I second it.
Thank you.
All right, we have $7,000 from the German Community Church to be used for kinder intermediate school lunch charges. We got $500 from Nyla Getter to the Miamisburg Drama Club, $6,000 from Miamisburg Board Boosters to the WGI Wins Instructor Stipends. Thank you for all the donations, as always. Roll call?
Mr. Mowry?
Yes.
Mrs. Neese?
Yes.
Mr. Dappler?
Yes.
And Mrs. Getter? Yes.
All right. Next, we are going to move on to reports. Molly is not here, but Dr. Blessing is going to read what Molly sent her.
Sure. The MVCTC report from, for tonight, February 20th. The general fund balance is $50,023,490.23. The MVCTC continues to take applications for the 25-26 school year, and they are up over 10% from last year. The top 5 programs are pre-nursing, cosmetology, dental assisting, vet science, and welding. Our meetings are always the second Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. This month, the FFA students did a trial run presentation as practice for their Agricultural Issues Forum contest that they are presenting in April. Their presentation focused on solar parks and power stations. They presented the pros and cons of the issue with a moderator running the presentation. The purchase of a tract of land located very close to the school is in the final stages. This land includes land that is currently farmed, so our students can have more land to learn agricultural processes on, as well as lots that can be built on at a later date by our construction students. On Saturday, March 15th, the MVCTC is hosting the Ohio Academy of Science District 10 Science Fair from 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. They need volunteer judges for 250 to 300 students that will be presenting that morning. Oh, it'll be a busy morning for the judges. In student news,
The NTHS is having a tapping ceremony for students this month. 6 students from Miamisburg qualified for the BPA competition for the state competition in Columbus, which is held in March. Miamisburg Gabriella Young was the Business Information Technology and Agricultural Student of the Month. She is pre-law and is a member of the mock trial team. Livia Cruel was the MVCTC Career Connection Student of the Month as well. So, and again, Molly apologizes for being here. She's out of town, and she'll see us in March.
Thank you. On to Jason Maury, Legislative Liaison.
I'll be real brief. Governor DeWine put forward his 2025 budget bill. It's going to be House Bill 96. I forwarded Steve some of those details. It's too early to determine whether that will have impact, but the initial impact shows a 7% reduction from $23 billion to around $16 billion for public school funding, which I would think that would be incredibly impactful.
It is, it's about 1.5 million less for this district if that follows through, but it's so early that I don't even trust
That may
those.
change, right,
Yes.
right. So it's early, there's a lot to work through in the General Assembly, but it's there. And the notions that I've heard from the several people in the legislature were that our K-12 populations are shrinking, and they don't see that changing anytime soon. So that's what's driving that. And a lot of that funding at this point appears to be going to charter schools and ed choice vouchers. There is a lot of legislation that's being crafted but hasn't been assigned any numbers or been brought forward on the floor yet. But one of those that is going to be focused on public education is issues related to DEI. Senate Bill 1 passed out of the Senate on 2/13, and it bans a lot of stuff. I would encourage people to read it. I'm not going to do so since it's for higher education, but a lot of the same merits. The bill for public education is coming. It's going to be mirrored in a lot of ways after that. A couple of things that I was curious about. I received a memo that was a letter from the U.S. Department of Education that required DEI be banned in public education within 14 days as of the 14th of February. And today's February the 20th. Have our administrators made any adjustments towards that?
Well, we don't have a DEI program, so I think that's just a, Katie, those are just letters. What am I thinking? These are just letters that we get, but there's no mandate tied to that.
Well, the safety and sense of belonging says in our strategic plan that it's for diversity, equity, and inclusion. We have the equity fellows, we have the equity champions. I mean, how can we say we don't have it when I got all kinds of evidence I'd be happy to share if you would like me to do that. Would that be beneficial to a conversation about it?
That's up to the board.
Well, I mean, I think that, when you read the letter, it's, and you read this and it talks about non-discrimination obligations of schools to other entities. And then when you read through the Equity Fellows program from a few years ago, and there's a section that's entitled The Whiteness Project, it certainly brings into question how these things have come to exist, and that is their driving force for this to cause them to exit. So, I mean, there's a website that's up for these kinds of complaints to be sent to the what is the office? The Department of Education Civil Rights Division. And, it seems like, does it threaten Title IX funding? What does it threaten?
Discrimination is Title VI, it's not Title IX, and then we don't have Title VI funding.
So we don't receive any federal funds that this would threaten? No? Okay. So even if there was a program that exists, it wouldn't threaten any existing federal funding. Is that what I'm hearing?
Not funding that we are receiving, we don't have Title VI funding.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's all I got.
Next will be student achievement. Mr. Christopher Amsler, I will take care of that. We have the remaining student of the month's building representatives. Bauer, we have Easton Clay. Well, we have Jane Chance as Decario Cook. Kinder, we have Cammie Ogan. Maddox Lane, we have Sutton Thompson. Mark Twain, we have Luca Walton. Mound, we have Skylie Smith. Miamisburg Middle School, we have Ariana Watson. Miamisburg High School, we have Seth Penwell. And then I saved Bear School for last because this is my nephew, Mr. Sam Bell. So he's very proud to be a student of the month, and he's a great young kid, like all these kids are, I'm sure. So next we have Montgomery County Drug Free Coalition liaison Nyla Ginn.
We didn't have a meeting in February. Our next meeting is in March.
There is no district news and information. So on to agenda item 11, roundtable. Mr. Mowry.
Oh, sorry, that was quick.
I started that last.
45 minutes, Corey.
It just depends on how long everybody talks.
I'm proud of you. I tried to get quick. You told me you were hungry. I'll be brief. I just want to thank our donors, as always, Hunter Pennington for doing a great job. Jessica Lay, the STEAM project was great. Great job there. And Marsha Miller for our retiree after 30 years. Hope everybody stays warm.
I'd like to express congratulations to Mrs. Neese. For those of you who do not know, we have been friends since the 7th grade, just a few years ago. What an honor it is to be chosen as a recipient of the Ohio School Boards Association Training Award. She is a distinguished member of our board who always puts our students and staff first in her decisions as a board member. Our district should be honored to have her on our school board. I'd like to congratulate Ms. Miller and best wishes in your retirement. Way to go, Hunter Pennington, our student of the month. And I really enjoyed attending the Montgomery County ESC Business Advisory Council meeting last night. Our STEAM Lab video, as Dr. Blessing said, was featured, and also Mr. Neubauer was recognized for his leadership in our workforce development program. So it was a big blue and white night.
I guess I won't be so brief tonight, I'm sorry, but I don't think I'll take more than 2 minutes. I want to congratulate Marsha Miller on her retirement, and thanks to Journey Church and Mrs. Scudder and the Band Boosters for those generous donations. Journey Church just helped so much with those lunch fees. I just wanted to thank the administration and my fellow board members for devoting time and attention to the NEOA policies. Those are some pretty thick binders that we have to read through, that we did adopt those tonight. I do want to say we continue to have anti-harassment policies in place for our administrators, our staff, and our students that protect all, regardless of personal journeys. This is kind of a serious going around the table for me tonight, because my son sadly told me that his community lost a student to suicide 2 weeks ago. She had been harassed and bullied. I felt compelled to inform our community of our anti-harassment policies that we have in place. You can find them on our website. And just kind of going off on a tangent here, the Center for Disease Control conducts a youth risk behavior survey. It's a nationwide survey of 17,000 students from public and private schools. And the results were that, I'm going to get a drink of water here. 40% of high school students experience persistent feelings of sadness and hopelessness. 29% experience poor mental health. 20% seriously considered attempting suicide. 16% made plans to commit suicide, and 9% attempted suicide. According to the CDC, the trends don't look favorable, but there is hope and that some trends are improving. I would encourage board members and anyone in our community that's interested to look at this data. There's all kinds of data in this survey. It's the CDC Youth Risk Behavior Survey. I would sense, and I could be wrong, that our students in Miamisburg are faring better. And I think it's due to the tremendous support from the community, from their families, aides, teachers, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, the administration. Our safety and sense of belonging survey results indicate this as well. Lots of great programs that engage our students, such as the STEAM that we saw tonight. Just please talk to your children and grandchildren about the dangers of harassment and repeated bullying. If they have been a victim, please report it on our website by clicking the Speak Up button to the right. And Dr. Blessing, could you maybe tell us how many incidents were reported last semester?
We've had 6 that focus on bullying and harassment.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, sorry for the seriousness, but I think it's good to have knowledge about what's going on with our high school students in our country.
So I'm going to be super quick. Again, just thank you all for working with us and for being here tonight. I did just want to touch base on what Mr. Mowry brought up about the state funding formula and how that looks for us. The first year that they put this into place, if this were what would go through, it's a $1.5 million loss and then a $389,000 loss, I think, the next year. So hopefully we get this panned out. Dr. Blessing, all the other superintendents and treasurers meet with legislators often to kind of, fight our battles of how we need help with funding and how they need to, make the formula so that we can do better. And so we'll keep doing that, but we won't see these final numbers until probably May, so just keep that in mind that this could potentially change. And have a good night.
I would just like to reiterate that I know that I'm doing the meetings a little different than years past, and like I said last month, all the information is on board docs, on the website. Please go and look. We're not passing over anything. It's all there for everybody to see. Then I would like to congratulate Ann. Ann does dedicate a lot of time. She takes lots of trainings, lots of time to be a great board member. The STEAM lab was fantastic. That looks great. That looks fun, and I'm glad we can provide something like that. I would just like to say, as a parent, with those numbers, I restrict lots of social media and devicing. I would say that contributes to a lot of those numbers. I would just encourage parents to be involved. And it's tough to tell your kids that they're not allowed to be on these things. But if they know what the rules are, it's fine. And it'll help them mentally way beyond 7th through 12th grade. So that would be what I would say on this. So thank you for that, Ann. Dr. Blessing?
Sure, thank you. Excited, so cute to see our student of the month and his excitement for learning, and Marcia, our 30 years in education, her excitement and dedication to our district, and then Ann's service to the board and our community. And we value education for our students, especially for our staff and board to always learn, because there's a lot of new things coming down the pike every single day that we can all learn from, and how the world is changing. So thank you all, and our students, and Marcia and Ann for that. We just finished up the winter sports season. I know we have some district basketball coming up tomorrow night. That's why Mr. Freeze could not be with us. But just exciting to see all the seniors that we just were able to recognize through all the senior nights this past week and the week before. But also give a shout out to our athletic directors. They don't get a lot of praise. they get a lot of, why is this rescheduled, or can you help with practice, or I need a gym. And I think that Jason and even Matt, our newest part of the athletic team, I give them a shout out. And if anyone sees them, be sure to thank them, because they have very busy jobs. And we talk to them on the weekends, on Sunday morning when we got our unexpected snow. not only did we speak with Ed and all the grounds crew about getting snow cleared, Steve and I, but also with the athletic team. They do a lot of coordination and send us, not only are our buildings used for all of our student events, but we have a lot of community events that go on the weekends and on holidays, and they do so much behind the scenes, so I want to give them a shout out. And great donations this month as always. So. And thank you, Shelby. Appreciate the kind words. So.
Just a couple quick items here. Congratulations to Ann on that award. It is a very prestigious award, and
One thing
it's
I
a
was
lot.
gonna say, it's really cool that you can do a lot of training from Zoom now. You don't have to drive to Columbus every time.
Yeah, and I know a lot of some of our past board members. It takes a lot of trainings to be honored to do that, and Kathy Bates also says congratulations, by the way. So. In terms of our partnerships tonight, you know, we talked about the STEAM Lab. We are very fortunate, and I just want to continue to thank the Miami Valley Career Tech Center for their continued support and encouragement to offer options to all of our kids. You know, we spend a lot of time about not every student is college bound. We need workforce in every way, and for them to be able to do that and to offer those, we're very thankful for that. And to Sinclair, Stacy does a lot of work with the CCP, and they've been a great partnership with us too. So, and then I do want to give a shout out to Ed and Jim and our maintenance crews. We've gone through a lot of salt this winter, and looking forward to spring. But as Laura said, they're very early mornings that they're out doing that, and they don't have to come in on the weekends and do that, but they do come on the weekends and do that so our kids can partake in that. So I want the community to know that we are very appreciative of their help. So thank you.
Firstly, I'd like to start with Mrs. Huber's work with STEAM. Mrs. Huber is amazing. I can attest to how great these STEM classes are. I took them throughout middle school and in my high school years, and they really do build skills that students will need down the road. Huge congratulations to Mrs. Neese. She's been a huge part of our position sitting here, and she's helped us every step of the way. And then I just have one more thing to talk about. I've stated in the past that Miamisburg is part of the Roundtable, which collaborates with other students who sit on their district's boards of education. This meeting was actually kind of exciting. We were on Zoom because of weather, but we got to meet the president-elect for the OSBA, Mary Cleveland, and Jennifer Ho. She works at the OSBA, and Dr. Kathy McFarland. They all had great things to say and motivated us, and just they were wonderful. We have stopped, or the bill that we were trying to provide more voice to got signed in by the governor, so we are now switching roles, and we're going to start going after some of the budget bills that we'll talk about tonight. So that's our new project. Yeah. We are going to meet in 2 weeks, I think, so I'll have another update next month, but thank you.
I love that from you.
First thing I want to say is a thank you to Dr. Blessing and Mr. Homan for the 2-hour delay this morning. I didn't even know it was going to snow last night, so it's very surprising and really nice to have a little bit of time in the morning to sleep in. And I know those decisions are also hard, so thank you for everything you guys do. I also want to say that I think the STEAM program at the elementary schools is great. I know I really would have enjoyed that in elementary school, and even through middle school, it definitely did teach you leadership and how to collaborate with others, so I think that's really beneficial to the students. And I also wanted to give a quick update on our elementary visits that we've been doing to gather data. We just finished our last school yesterday, so we should have all the information by next board meeting, so hopefully we'll have a presentation.
Alright, I want to start off with congratulations to Ms. Neese. That's a really good honor. I'm proud of you. With the elementary schools, it's been really great going down there. We just did our last round of surveying the kids. The kids are great. Big thank you to the principals and the teachers for letting us take some of their class time.
Everyone has been really great to work with, and all the staff and administration has been super supportive. So we all really appreciate that. And the STEAM program at Kinder and now at the whole district is really great. I remember STEM being like my favorite special in middle school. So the fact that the kids are getting exposure to that at a younger age is really amazing. And that's all I got.
I just want to first, again, as everyone has said, congratulate Miss Neese for her award. That's an amazing accomplishment. But I also want to thank her for the statistics that she shared. Mental health and suicide prevention is something that I know all four of us talk about during school, but it's also just such a huge concern. So I want to thank you for shedding some light on that. And I also want to say that STEAM video was very cool. It makes a lot of sense why all of the elementary kids who said that STEAM was their favorite. It makes a lot more sense. And I'm glad that that's something that we've brought in our district, and hopefully we can see throughout other districts surrounding us. Thank you.
I'm curious, because you weren't here last month, did you guys sell enough candy bars to go to New York?
The candy bars were for NHS.
Oh.
They're for like funding for.
Did you meet your goal?
I think so. Yes.
We
would know if we did.
A little bit of money had to come out of my pocket, because I was in the best set.
Did you eat them?
I'm still at home, but.
That's funny.
Corey, just one more thing, when remind me when the students were talking here, the number 988 is the Suicide and Crisis Prevention Hotline out there. So that's just something to, as students know, it's staffed 24/7, 365 days a year, but it's for anyone. If it's a family member, that's suffering from something, or someone's just in a really dark place and they need to talk to someone, they can refer people across the country in seconds to help with that. So just as a reminder out there, everyone knows 911, but 988 is a number to be able to be helpful out there. So.
Yeah, it's funny that you said that, because I meant to ask you to talk about that tonight. I really would encourage everyone to look at that report, though. There's so much stuff in that report, and they break it down even farther, and they have different topics. It's just a real eye-opener, and it's not just about mental health and suicide. There's other aspects to it as well. So, and it's laid out nicely, and good visuals, and easy to understand. Nothing that you have to, work through too hard. So I would just encourage our community and board members and our student board members to look through that.
Cool. And then also just to make it clear to everyone, Sophie and I are actually members of Hope Squad at our high school. It is a peer-to-peer suicide prevention group. Mrs. Criswell, she's a health teacher. She's absolutely wonderful. She's the she's the Hope Squad advisor. So high schoolers, and we've even talked to Mrs. Huber's talked about implementing in the elementary school letters, like we're here to talk through and help however we can, and there's QR codes around the school that you can scan to create appointments and stuff. So that's another resource that students who may be dealing with anything can come and talk to us for.
I've got one more too, I'm sorry. So you guys know how much I appreciate all of that you do. So when you do have those discussions about the funding, if you need any data to support your points, you just let me know.
I thought you were giving money.
I'm going to interrupt you one more time. Ann shared that report with me, and we will put that on our parent resource page on the website, so that's available for our parents as well.
I think we're done.
All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
7:04.